that you can wear on your fursuit or out of fursuit. They are really cute. I like them on my suit personally. Out of suit every once in a while if I'm in particular gear, they'll look kind of cute. But I want to talk about harnesses with the help of my sponsor, Crunchy Curl, crunchycurl.com. We'll coupon code NIDO10 for 10% off, which I just realized this is an Odin video and it's a NIDO discount code, but it's fine, it'll work. I guess I thought I was going to do it on the NIDO channel, now I'm doing it here. Because harnesses aren't just an NSFW thing, despite what some people think. They're not inherently sexual, they're not inherently a part of kink gear, they're just a cool accessory that you can wear. I know a lot of people wear them and it makes them feel like they look cool and confident, and they're just awesome. And I wore them on suit before. I got a new harness thanks to Crunchy Curl that I'm gonna wear in fursuits now, so I'm kind of excited about it, you know? There's a lot of different types of harnesses, which I'm gonna show you a bunch that Crunchy Curl was nice enough to send me. Different styles, you can do different buckles, different patterns, different placement on the body, etc. There's a lot you can do with harnesses. So this is kind of like a little bit of an informative video about an accessory that a lot of people know of, but a lot of people also don't. So I'm gonna show it off to you guys because I think they look pretty darn sweet. And I'm gonna have my assistant help me put on the harnesses because there's no way I could ever do it alone. One thing about harnesses is they are tricky to put on for the first time, especially a bunch of different styles. Now, as you can see, this harness goes right here over the shoulder and under the armpit. And then you have this, and then you have a ring, which is kind of cool because you can attach a leash to it or something and people can tug on it or whatever. It's neat. And then it goes along here and then kind of on the belly, which really accentuates my belly, Jesus. And then here's the back view of this one. I really like it because you can do the nylon. This is the material nylon. You can do two colors, like where you have the black and then the blue accent, which I think is really neat. You could also make harnesses out of leather, just a choice aesthetically. I personally like nylon because it's more like a husky harness, more like a dog harness, and I'm a wolf, so it makes sense. And then I'm going to try the next one on. Now this one is a full body harness that also goes through the thighs like this, so you can have leg straps. We also spend about 20 minutes putting it on because it's very difficult to figure out when you're a dum-dum like us. But once you get it on, it's pretty great. You can see here, I like it. Colors aren't my style, but if it's like you have a fursuit that's more primary colors, that would look good, but obviously this is just a show. I will put the style of harness on the screen and the price as well, because I don't know those off the top of my head. And remember, 10% off with code NIDO10 at checkout. But yeah, crunchycurl.com. This harness is pretty cool. Yes. Let me just, Wow. 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 Now that we spent 20 minutes putting it on, let's take 5 seconds taking it off and then put a new one on. Okay. This one is the most simple one. It took about 5 seconds to put on, and it says Pride because you can embroider certain things on your harness if you like, if it's nylon. But yeah, it's a super simple harness. Ironically, you do see a lot of gay people at Pride wearing like harnesses like these. It's very basic, very simple, but it's easy to put on, easy to wear, and it looks kind of cute. So if more simple harness is your thing, then this style right here is for you. And as you can see, here's a full red one, which is very intricate and only took us like, what, 15 minutes to put on this time? Editor's note, I'm stupid, and it's a full X harness, chest harness, that should look like this. Not how I have it. So I'm special, but look at the picture, that's how it should look. I still think how I put it on was kind of cool, but just a note, that's not how you wear it. Oh my god. I'm sorry, Crunchy Curl. But I like this one. It's really cool because you got the shoulder straps, you got the X thingy here, and then you got it here and through the crotch and in the back. So it's pretty neat. You just like show how casual you can be with them, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, what if I'm in a harness? What if it? Whoa. I don't know. So yeah, another style that you might like, that Crunchy Curl has. And that's not to say that there's not other fursuit harness makers or just harness makers in general, because there are. This video has a sponsor, but I do want to say there are other places to get harnesses as well in the fandom, so if these don't tickle your fancy, which they should because they're pretty great, there are other people as well. I think these are pretty darn great for nylon harnesses, and I prefer nylon, so they're right up my alley. Now this one's a more simple style harness. It only took us about like what, a minute to put on. It's great, very simple, but it looks really nice for an X harness. I like this one a whole lot. I especially love this paw thing that he does right here, the paw connector. I kind of regret not asking for that on my personal harness. because it looks so good, and the gold like connectors are awesome. But yeah, here's another style harness for you guys. Swap the one ray. One ray? Yep, the one ray. Yes, queen. Word. Yes. Yes. Queen. Alright, perfect. Next. Last one is mine. You what?
To do this.
Yay! This is the one I'm most excited about. This is my harness. I get to keep this one. I chose lime green because it accents my suit. Either lime green or red kind of works with my suit, I think. I love it! It's so cool. It's got like all the bells and whistles except for the paw print thing here, which is an option, but it goes around the sides, goes up here over my shoulders. Oh, I love it. It looks so good. I'm excited because I used to have a harness sort of similar to this like years ago, but I gave it away because I was like, oh no, a YouTuber cannot have a harness on in public. Oh, woe is me. And yeah, times have obviously changed. Who cares? Am I right? So like I said, fursuit harnesses are great. I mean, harnesses. I keep calling them fursuit harnesses, but they're harnesses. You can wear them out of fursuit with no gear at all if you want. There's the fun thing to wear. They give you confidence. They look good. They feel great. So I wanted to show off some harnesses from crunchycurl.com for you guys. Again, coupon code NIDO10. That's NIDO10 at checkout for 10% off. And I got to keep this harness. So obviously this video is sponsored. But yeah, this is a different type of video. Like I say that a lot, but yeah, it's different. I wanted to try something new. I wanted to show you guys off an accessory because why not? If you like this type of video, you can check me out on Patreon at patreon.com/OdinWolf. It is how I can keep doing videos for you guys every single week. It is the best way to support me. Also, I have merch like the bandana I was wearing earlier at odinwolf.storemb.com, and you can send stuff to my PO box if you want. But that's kind of it for this video. I can just like super casually lay here, like, yeah, whatever. I'm in harness. I don't know if you could see me in the shot, but can they see me in the shot?
They can see you.
What?
They can see you.
Okay, yay! So yeah, that's it. This is a harness video. It's been Odin Wolf. Thank you, Crunchy Curl, and oh, bye-bye. And as always, I want to thank my patrons for last month, especially Timmy at the Timmy tier. I'm not sure if Timmy has a harness, but Timmy, you should get a harness. It would look pretty great. I think a lot of people look great in harnesses. And by the way, Timmy at the donut tier, his own tier, is one of the most generous people on earth. So thank you, Timmy, for your immense support last month. And everybody at Diamond, Cody B, Conlo, Cosmo, Deku Panda, Brian B, Dosey Do, Lindsay, Slip Fox Socks, and Pup Happy. Thank you for last month's support at Diamond. You guys are ungodly generous, and I could never make videos like this without the help of each and every one of you. And everybody at Platinum, Tantanka, Jay Skulls, Dynamo, Coco the Fox, Robert Deere, and Mulyafa. Thank you all for your platinum support. Again, super, ungodly, amazing, generous people that give me so much each month. Thank you guys so much. And everybody at gold, silver, and other tiers, thank you, thank you, thank you. Story of a dear friend of mine that disappeared from my life completely. And I'd like for you guys to stick around to the end of the story because it's really important to me, and I think it could help some people out there struggling with themselves. So this story starts when I was pretty young, I think around 13 years old. And this is at a time where I didn't really have any friends and I didn't really know too many people at my school. But there was this thing called Odyssey of the Mind. And Odyssey of the Mind was a creative problem-solving thing. It's kind of hard to explain, but you do creative problem-solving, you do like a skit, and you also do a main challenge. And our challenge was to build a balsa wood, which is extremely weak wood structure, and you put weights on it, one at a time, until it finally breaks. This interested me because it was something different, something fun to do. I had saw a video of people going to Worlds, which was the end of the competition, and I aspired to go there one day. But starting Odyssey of the Mind, I needed a team, of course. So we went to the school meeting, and we sort of found other kids that were interested in Odyssey of the Mind. And one of them is the friend that I eventually made that disappeared. At first, we were just mostly like, you know, acquaintances, like just kids excited to do this new project together, you know? But over time, they grew a lot closer to me. And we did Odyssey of the Mind together, actually, until we were around 18. So this was like 5 years of my life that I had been doing this project with this friend, and we really grew close together. By the time we hit college, we would like tell each other pretty much everything. Like, I didn't really have secrets. I just, we did everything together. Like, we went to college parties, and college parties that I didn't really like, but it was more of their jam, not so much my jam. We went to Chicago Comic Book Convention together and volunteered, and it was a lot of fun. I just have a lot of fond memories with them because I grew up with them. It was such a formative time in my life, you know? They were an important person to me. It was about when we were maybe 19, I want to say, that we were sitting together in their dorm room, and we were having like a really deep conversation, you know, and finally they said to me like, Odin, I have to tell you something, but I kind of want you to guess what it is. And so I was like, immediately like, are you gay? And they're like, no. I was like, okay. And then I threw out some other guesses because, like, what am I supposed to guess? I don't know. What is this secret that you've been holding on to? And finally, they said it. They were like, I don't want to be a boy. I want to be a girl. And at this time, I didn't really know anything about trans people. Like, there wasn't as much trans media on the TV, like Transparent and Orange is the New Black and stuff like that. I wasn't exposed to it, you know? I wasn't taught anything about it in school, and no one really talked about trans issues at the time. Not nearly as much, of course. And social media wasn't what it is today, you know, because this is 11, 12 years ago. I don't even think I had Twitter yet. I didn't join Twitter. And so I was like, what do you mean you don't want to be a boy? And they were like, I feel like I was born into the wrong body. And I was like, oh, okay, that's different. I mean, they were my best friends, so I was just like, well, years ago I came out to you as gay, and now you're coming out to me with this secret. And it turns out I was the only person at the time that they told this, and I was like, well, okay. I mean, if you want to be a girl, then go for it. Like, I didn't judge her at all, because why would I? They were my best friend. They accepted me for who I was. I was going to accept them for who they were. Absolutely. And I remember over time, she started telling some of our close friends in college, just two of them, I think, that she wanted to be a girl, or that she was a girl, rather, and that one time we were hanging out, and finally we egged her on, just like, she was like, I kind of want to wear, because we were with two female friends and her, and she was like, I kind of want to wear, like, a dress and some makeup, and we were like, dude, just go for it, like, why not? It would be fun, like, put on some clothes and put on some makeup and, like, feel free, feel you know what I mean? And finally they did, and we were like, hell yeah! You know, I remember being like, you did it! And there's just, like, moments like that where we're just like, we accept you, and it's okay. And over time, she joined the GSA at the college, even, and told some of them. So she was really opening up about it, and I was really proud of her. But she also had this girlfriend at the time who was actually really cool. I mean, she seemed open-minded. Like, she seemed like a worldly person, you know, that would accept anybody for who they are. But over time, like, the friend group and I were like, you know, you should probably tell her that you are a girl, you know, since, like, my philosophy always was with my partner was to tell them everything, because they're the closest person to you. If you can't tell them something, how are you going to make it together? Like, it's so important to have communication with your significant other. But they just never did. They never told her. And it always concerned us a bit, but it wasn't our place to say anything, of course. We would never, ever out her, ever, because that's just terrible. It's just awful. I couldn't imagine that. And they just never told her. And it was years gone by, like a couple years, and we drifted apart a bit, but I still considered her to be my best friend. And then it turns out she was getting married. And she asked me to be the best man in the wedding, which of course I was super flattered by, because that's kind of an honor to be asked. And then more time passed, and I started to wonder, like, why aren't you responding to my texts? Why aren't you answering my calls? And they just stopped communication completely. And my mom, she was at the supermarket and ran into her mom, and their mom was like, why didn't you go to the wedding? And my mom was like, Odin never received an invitation. He didn't even know when it was going to happen. So when I heard that, I was so hurt. I went from going to be his best man to not even hearing about the wedding. It dawned on me that she decided to completely cut me out of her life. And I've come to find that it was because I knew her secret and she wasn't ready to tell anyone about it. And I think she just wanted to cut out the people in her life that knew about it, because the other two friends and I were also cut out of her life completely. And I don't understand what she must be going through. I know in my life that being gay, it's like a really big weight on your mind all the time when you're in the closet. And I remember coming out of the closet, how much of a weight that was off of my shoulders. So I just remember when I came out of the closet, it felt so good. I knew when she told me that she was actually a girl, like, to some extent I understood how relieving that must have been. But I feel so awful to this day that she cut me out of her life completely, because it could have been so different. If you accept who you are, and you admit who you are, and you live your life as who you are, I can guarantee you, you will be happier. I'm not saying you have to come out of the closet. I'm not saying you have to tell people if you're trans. That is not my decision. That is your decision. But I am saying, from my perspective, when I came out, I was so much happier with myself. And I know that I've had friends over the years that have also come out to me as trans, and I could see how much happier they were. Some of them got breast surgery, some of them went on T. They were so excited to live as they felt they were inside, outwardly, finally. They were excited to just be who they were to the world, finally. And I just wish I could talk to that friend and help her, because I miss them. And I don't want them because I miss her. And I just hope that she's okay, and that the life she's living makes her happy. I really do. But I made this video because this is an important story to me, and I just want to tell people out there that I promise you, living life is who you are, be it gay, trans, whatever, just being you will make you so much happier. And if people don't accept you, then cut them the fuck out of your life, because honestly, you're so much better off without them. I want people to be happy, I want people to be themselves, and I want you to accept who you are inside and let it out and be happy. Honestly, the amount of people who choose to end their life because they remain closeted, or because they get hate, or they're picked on, it's terrible. So I would like to, instead of promote myself at all in this video, I would like to promote a charity called Trans Lifeline. You can support them in the pinned comment, because they help, and I think that's super important. As the LGBTQIA plus community, we need to support people in our community, because I don't want situations like what I went through and what they went through and people I've seen worse than just disappear, but pass away. I don't want that to happen. So maybe donating to this will help. And if you can't do that, that's fine. You know what else helps? Just talking. Just keep an open dialogue. Support your friends for whoever they are. Even if you don't understand it or whatever, it doesn't matter. Just treat people like human beings. I just want to end this by saying, as if you'd ever see one of my videos, but to my former best friend, I miss you, and I hope you're doing well. Bye-bye. That will forever change my life. Now I'm going to be telling you something that is deeply personal and something new to me and that I'm still dealing with and trying to figure out how to cope and live with going forward. So I would really appreciate if you'd stick around for the duration of the video rather than just hearing the beginning of what I have to say and then just immediately being like, ugh, and running away. So I was at a furry convention last weekend, Indie FurCon, and right before the convention, about a week earlier, again, just please hear me out. About a week earlier, I thought I had an ingrown hair on my genital area. Yeah, I know. Just hear me out, okay? This will be an educational video, something we can all learn together. So I thought it was ingrown hair, didn't think anything of it. And about 2 days before Indie FurCon, another agitated region in my groin popped up. And, that's when I was like, that's not good. I should get that checked out. Maybe it's not an ingrown hair. So I went to urgent care and they did a swab of it. And the test results, they said, could take 3 days. And I was like, well, guess I'm not going to do anything, you know, at Indie FurCon, which bummed me out, but whatever. I can do a lot of other things at a convention. Fine. Well, turns out the results were super fast. And, it was Friday. I got a call. And it turns out that I have genital herpes. I said it. I said it. Now, a lot of you probably are hearing that and immediately like, ugh, gross, what the heck? And a lot of you think it's like I'm a leper and that no one should get near me and that I shouldn't be touched because, quite honestly, I haven't been educated about something like this and most of you probably haven't either. And again, please hear me out because this isn't fun to talk about. This isn't fun to tell my audience that, hey, I have genital herpes. That's not something that I ever want to say to people, but I'm going to be completely open about it and completely honest about it because I can use this experience in my life as a way to educate people and to be open about it because if I'm open about it, that will give courage and confidence to other people that live with the same thing that I'm going to be living with for the rest of my life and show I'm not ashamed of it and neither should you. HSV2, or genital herpes, is common. It is incredibly common, actually. You hear it and you think, oh man, oh god, I hope I never get that. Like, oh, that's awful. True, you never hope you get it. But hold on, let me pull up the statistics from the CDC because, spoiler alert, a lot of people have this. Like, a lot. Nationwide, 11.9% of persons aged 14 to 49 have genital herpes. 12.1% when adjusted for age. 12% of people. And that's the people that know about it. I'm willing to make a very large bet it's closer to 15-20%. And the reason is, some people never even get a flare-up. They never know they have it. A lot of people get it, never know about it, give it to other people. They have no idea because it doesn't affect a lot of people. And to be honest with you, all it did for me was 2 little areas that looked like kind of like zits or whatever, and they were gone within a few days, and I took an antiviral to speed up that process. It didn't hurt. It looked a little gross for about a day, but that was it. That's all I went through. And the terrible part is, when I got this news, I actually was looking in the mirror and thinking, I want to kill myself. I literally had thoughts of killing myself because the stigma around HSV2 was so great that I thought I'd never be able to have sex anymore. I thought that people were going to treat me like trash, look at me like I'm like a diseased piece of shit, and ignore me. I really thought, like, an important part of my life, I'm an adult, I like sex, sex is an important part of my life. I really thought that part of my life was over, and part of me wanted to die. Unironically, die. It was really fucking difficult that day, and part of the reason it was so difficult is because I was so uneducated about it. So I want to educate you guys some. Now, it is genital herpes, not oral herpes. The funny thing about oral herpes is that you watching this out there, chances are you have it. Yeah, you, at any age, because oral herpes, or HSV1, I've seen statistics that say up to 90% of people have it. Period. Point blank. I've also seen some that said 80, around there. The point is, most people, especially when you get to be sexually active, but a lot of people before that, get oral herpes because it is so damn common. So common. So easily spread. You share a drink, you can get it. You kiss someone, you can get it. You don't have to have sex. Oral herpes, like, there's literally a YouTube video called "You Probably Have Herpes," and that's okay, because almost everyone does. And the only difference is that is on your mouth, and the HSV2 or herpes, which everyone seems to treat completely different, is on the groin area or the buttocks, whatever. So it's funny that one is treated like, well, yeah, everyone has that one, because you do, and the other one is treated like, oh my god, I would never touch them with a 10-foot pole. It's weird, and I didn't know that if you have it on your genital region, you can still perform oral on other people, and you can't give it to them, because it is only contagious in the area you have it through skin-to-skin contact or skin-to-mucus contact. If someone were to perform oral on me, then yes, they could get it. And that's another thing I didn't understand. I thought I could just never do anything with anybody anymore, and it was the end of the world. But you can go on antiviral medications, which decreases your outbreaks and decreases your chance of spreading it to other partners. You can also use protection, which, spoiler alert, you should. And there's still a chance. Outside of flare-ups, when you actually see it, there's still a chance that you can give it to someone. There is. And that is a conversation I will have to have with every one of my sexual partners, because I will be completely open and honest with them. But I've already found people that are like, yeah, that's a risk I take when being an active adult. And the funny thing is, me knowing that I have it and going on antivirals and being careful and using protection, I am safer than somebody who has it and doesn't know, which is most people. The irony is, if you have something like, there's a lot of people I know that have HIV, which again, that stigma is starting to wear off about the negativity around that. But I know a lot of people with HIV that have medication that they're on constantly that give their viral load or chance to give HIV to somebody else virtually non-existent. And herpes, not the same. You can't get it to 0 yet. But there are tests for vaccines out there. They're trying to find a way to prevent it so you can never get herpes. My hope is that one day they'll be able to either completely suppress it like they do HIV or come up with a cure. But barring that, my sex life isn't over. I don't want to be TMI because I do want this to be an all ages video because I want people to be educated about this, but I still had some fun at IFC with this area and not this area because I was in a flare-up. And I had many people express to me that, yeah, when you're not in a flare-up, if we use protection, I'll still do stuff with you because there's an inherent risk in all sexual activity, and take the extra precautions and probably won't get it. But I think I personally got it from somebody who didn't know that they had it or didn't have a flare-up. I informed all my past partners, and yeah, I literally wanted to kill myself because I just didn't understand. I just thought it was so much worse than it was when I first heard that I had it. But I'm here to tell people that may have it now, get it in the future, it's not a big deal. Like, it actually isn't. Now, some people experience it really intensely, and it can be painful for them. But for me and the other people that have, like, actually talked to me since I tweeted on my After Dark Twitter that I had it, they also experienced that most of them either never had a flare-up, but had it from birth, or that they had a flare-up once, like I did, never again. And some people had very minor flare-ups or whatever. The irony is that doctors don't like to test for HSV 1 and 2 because A, everybody has HSV 1, In HSV2, it's hard to test for it. They do a blood test, and it's not very accurate. The only really accurate way to do it is to swab the region that, like, if it's a flare-up, which is what I have done. So they don't like testing for it. And one of the reasons I was reading an article was that because HSV2, unless you're pregnant, that's a different story, not talking to my pregnant audience, really isn't much of a health detriment. It's just an inconvenience that you live with that can affect you periodically or once and never again. It's not dangerous to your health unless you have crazy other conditions that maybe will affect it. I don't know all the details, but from everything I've been reading, it's just an inconvenience. That's it. Another TMI, I have had chlamydia and gonorrhea before. I'm a very sexually active adult, and they, again, are very easy to get. And unlike this, you just take a pill and they go away. But I will tell you, gonorrhea and chlamydia were painful, and gonorrhea was gross. Those are way worse. A flare-up of those is way worse than herpes was for me. Granted, those are treatable and go away, but those are not pleasant. The fact is, when you become sexually active as an adult, you put yourself at risk for things like this. You can lessen your risk for using condoms like I should have been recently. Part of the reason that I probably put myself at risk is because I have been barebacking with people lately because I broke up with my ex and I just had a F the world, I don't care anymore attitude. And I shouldn't have. And I immediately got punished for that. From now on, obviously, whenever I have anal sex, I'm going to use a condom. I should have been doing that in the first place. It's just safe sex practices. It's so dumb not to. Obviously. Learn from me. Use condoms. Because I was also at a party at IFC, and almost nobody was using them at that party. And I was just like, oh my god, we should probably get back into the habit as a community of using condoms. I don't know what happened. No, half the people don't use them anymore. But I am here in front of this camera being so fucking vulnerable. I don't like having... This is so deeply personal, but I want to use my damn platform to tell you, you probably have oral herpes, and that's okay. And you know what? 11, 12, 15% of you might have genital herpes or might get it, and it's also actually okay. It's not the end of the world. I don't want you to feel like I did that day. I don't want you to feel like you have to kill yourself over something that's so insignificant. This is something livable. I will adjust to it. It's gonna be okay. And I knew I had friends at the time telling me it was gonna be okay, but I just didn't have any education about the topic. I didn't know it was so common. I didn't know it was so painless, for me at least. And I didn't know there's antivirals. Now you guys do. And this isn't going to be a popular topic, whatever, I don't care. Every once in a while, I want to do something that is deeply personal to me and will help someone out there. Because God forbid someone feels as low as I did that day and actually took their life because of something this fucking insignificant. I don't want anyone to feel that way. And if I prevented any damn person out there or made anyone feel a little bit better about having it or getting it in the future, then fuck yeah, this video is all worth it. So, there it is. I have genital herpes, and it's not a big deal. I said it. This isn't a fun topic, obviously, and I hope you stick around this far, because it's just information that should be out there, and the education for STIs should be a lot stronger than it is. I wish they would, teach classes in school, not abstinence bullshit. I wish they'd actually be like, here, if you get an STI, here's what it's like, here's how to treat it. Wouldn't that be fantastic? Anyway, that's this week's video. If you want to support me, check me out on Patreon at patreon.com/OwenWolf. It is how I can make videos for you guys every single week. Hopefully not more like this one, but every once in a while, who knows? But yeah, it does support me a lot, and also I have merch at owenwolf.stormv.com, and you can send stuff to my P.O. box if you want. But really, this video, I wanted to help you guys. So, well, some of you. I have no idea how this video will be received, and I know some people are still going to treat me like shit because I have herpes, but if someone's going to treat me like that over something that stupid, fuck them. I don't need them in my life. So if you're going to treat me like shit because of something like this, go away. I don't need you in my life. But for everyone there sticking around, thank you. Thank you for hearing me out. I appreciate you, and I hope this helps some of you out there feel a little bit more comfortable if you get it, if you have it, or if you know people who do. It's been Odin Wolf, and a bye-bye. And as always, I want to thank my patrons, especially Timmy at the
Timmy Donut tier. Timmy was with me at IFC, helping me through experiencing this news and comforting me, and I could never ask for a better friend than him. Thank you for being there for me, Timmy, and supporting me through Patreon and in person. You're fucking incredible. And everybody at Diamond, Cody B, Conlo, Cosmo, Deku Panda, Brian B, Dosey, Lindsay, Slipfox Socks, and Pup Happy, thank you for last month's support at Diamond. Incredible, amazing people who allow me to do this for a living. Thank each and every one of you so much for supporting me. And everybody at Platinum, Tantanka, Jay Skulls, Dynamo, Coco the Fox, Robert Deere, Emil Yaffa, thank you for your Platinum support last month. Again, huge, amazing support. Amazingly generous people. And everybody at Gold, Silver, and other tiers, thank you so much.